Good morning. Welcome to the Tennessee garden. This is the wife this morning. Brett has had to go to work. And each morning I get out and I come out here to these cucumbers. And I get to looking down the aisle and trying to see, are they ready or are they not? Sometimes I get in a froggy hurry and pick them way too quick. But this morning I was sitting drinking my hot cocoa because I'm just not a big fan of coffee. And thinking about the goodness of the Lord. Now I know he told, because Adam disobeyed him, he told Adam that he would work by the sweat of his brow, he would work the ground and eat all the days of his life. And people ask me all the time, why do you help do so much stuff, and oh, your husband has a good garden, do you help much? And I was like, for the longest time I said no. And I was very picky on what I ate out of the garden. I didn't want to eat a lot of it. I was like, well, you planted that because you like it. You planted this because you like it. But this year, I don't know. The Lord has been changing my husband and myself. If you'd have told me a couple of years ago I'd have wanted a clothesline and to hang my clothes out, I'd have laughed at you and said, why? The convenience of a dryer is so much easier. You don't have to wait near as long, and your clothes aren't stiff, and you don't have a chance of having little visitors in your pants or your shirts when you put them on. Sometimes I've had to knock a few spiders and a few other little bugs off of the clothes when I bring them in. I'm going to check them before I fold them up. Make sure none of them. Or a flying over bird and left a blessing on it. And you have to rewash it. And then I got to thinking, I remember back when I was a kid how much I hated doing things like that. And my husband started these videos. I said, well, even if no one watches them, it's okay. We can archive what we know that our grandparents taught us for our grandkids and our kids. I know a lot of the stuff my husband knows about gardening. He was taught by his granddaddy and his grandmother. And he's been teaching me. He'd tell me, Grandma used to tell me to do this. Grandma would tell me to do that. And this morning I said, now wait, I scratched my head trying to remember some things that my grandparents taught me. Because my granddaddy drew a big garden every year. And I never was interested in learning. My grandmother tried to teach me to sew, and I wasn't interested in learning. And now, I really wished I knew how to sew. Because I have this idea of a bag that would make picking all this stuff a whole lot easier. Brett was telling me about a thing he saw, one of the gardening magazines. But I thought, no, I want to make something for myself to do this. And this morning when I was thinking of that, I thought, if I'd been more patient and been more apt to learn, then I would have known, because my grandmother tried to teach me how to sew. And I would have been able to make anything, because she could make anything. Sometimes we regret being in a hurry. And I think that's one of the things the Lord has taught me with this garden. Got too froggy and picked a bunch of little cucumbers, so now we got a lot of whole we're going to have to can some whole pickles just because I picked them so little. Because I got in a hurry wanting to pick them, to get them, to feed off of them, to see them in the house, ready to eat. I don't know if I can get a good enough angle, if you can see it in all the green. But there is one ripe tomato over there and a ripe tomato coming in right there. There's a couple more in there. And on down this line, well, if I don't get you treed trying to walk with this thing, I'll show you. There's some big boys. And I'm getting in a hurry because I'm really wanting to pick those. Because they are huge. Well, they are to me. They may not be to anyone else. But they are big. I got to get all the grass out of here. But to me, that's a big tomato. And I'm getting in a hurry to see corn stalks on my corn. And I think God's trying to tell me patience. Because let me tell you, gardening, you learn patience. You learn lots of patience. And you learn from your mistakes. I put something in the blackberry area. I tried to mulch it. Apparently I put the wrong stuff in there, so because it started killing my blackberries bushes. My husband's trying to save them. The white stuff is, I think he called it lime or something. It's something that's supposed to rejuvenate them. Not too sure. Because whatever it is I put in there started killing my plants. Our blackberry picking is going to be very slim. I think the birds are actually going to beat us to them. Because there's not enough of them ripening at one time. You can just pick about 3 or 4 at a time. And last year, my goodness, these things were covered. But it's okay. We learn from mistakes. And that's what I've learned. Brett's trying to teach me, and God's trying to teach me patience. And hard work really pays off. Because on some of these pepper plants here, I'm getting me lots of bell pepper. See that bell pepper right down there? Mm-hmm. Those are more bell peppers. More bell peppers. And then over there I got some, I think they're called those jalapeno peppers. They're the hot ones, I know that. Yeah, they kind of grow a little close. But they too sure taste good. He says it won't be much longer than the potatoes will be ready to dig. Looking forward to that. Then we have kale. I don't know what all he said was growing over here. I think these are all weeds. I don't know. I'm still learning the difference between a plant and a weed. I started to pick something the other day and he said, don't pick that, that's a plant. So, still learning between the two. But I think that's cabbage or Brussels sprouts or something. I don't know. I know that's kale right there in the middle. Not sure what the other plant is. I know what he thinks they are, but I don't know what they're supposed to look like. These are the peas. And then the beans. Getting some good beans on her. And our lonely sunflower seed that decided to come back this year. Again, another lesson from the Lord. Good things come to those who wait. We didn't plant that, but He blessed us with it anyways. Yeah, the Lord has been using this garden to teach me. Teach me how to be patient. Teach me how to learn. And with all the grass in here, teach me what it really means by the sweat of your brow to have something. But the last couple of nights for supper, I've gone in with squash and zucchini and peppers from this garden and cooked dinner. Never been a big squash, zucchini. I've always liked bell peppers for a long time, but not squash and zucchini. It just didn't sound good. But there's something about growing it yourself It's a lot more tempting to eat. And I found I really like squash and zucchini and peppers. Now, of course, we had a good Valdea onion. Brett says ours is almost ready. Can't wait to get an onion out of it to cook. But we had a bunch of Valdeas we have to eat too. Fundraiser my son had, they sold onions. So I got plenty. For now. Something I gotta do today is cut them up and freeze them. I found they don't taste a whole lot different after you froze when you cook them. That's how I keep them from ruining from year to year. Well, like I said, the Lord has been blessing me. I don't know if you can see it very well. Trying to show you. In here are a bunch of carrot seeds. And every once in a while, you can see a little sprout coming up. Yeah, there again, learning patience. Learning patience to wait. Because I'm excited to see what that grows up to, man. Like I said, the Lord is really teaching me a lesson in all this. When you do something for yourself and you slow down and you do it right, you get blessed. The food tastes a whole lot better when you've seen the seed grow into a plant, grow into the fruit. How satisfying it is to eat what you grew. Thank God for an opportunity and the ability. So if you don't garden, and you're just watching it because you come across this video, stop and think about where your food comes from, how it got to you, who worked hard to get it to you. Because somewhere it grew somewhere, and something picked it and brought it to you. Because this is God's blessing to us. He provides. Every meal we have is provided by God. Every breath we breathe is provided by God. And because of that, we're blessed. That's all from the tea and garden. Oh, and I don't know if Brett's ever mentioned this, but all of this is growed on less than a half of an acre in the middle of a small town. And what he can do in a small spot by the blessings of the Lord is truly a testament to who God is. So have a blessed day.